The night was darker than usual, the kind of darkness that swallowed everything. I pulled up to the house, a strange tension twisting in my gut. Something was wrong. The silence inside was heavy, like the calm before a storm. I climbed the stairs slowly. That's when I heard it, muffled voices from the bedroom. I froze, my heart pounding. I knew that voice, that laugh, but it shouldn't have been there. I pushed the door open, praying I was wrong. But when the door swung wide, my world shattered. My wife, tangled in the sheets with my best friend. The sight hit me like a punch to the gut, leaving me breathless. They didn't notice me at first, too wrapped up in each other. When they finally did, a cold silence fell over the room. My wife scrambled to cover herself, her face pale as she tried to spit out some excuse. My so-called friend just stared at me, wide-eyed, like a deer caught in headlights, guilt written all over his face. I didn't say a word. I didn't trust myself to speak. The rage building inside me was too much, too raw. Without a word, I turned and left, the door slamming behind me. I could hear them scrambling, but I didn't stop. I couldn't. Nothing would ever be the same. For the next few days, I was a ghost, drifting through life in a daze. I didn't go back to the house. I didn't answer their calls. I didn't want to hear their lies. My mind was consumed by images of them together, replaying in my head like a broken record. It was driving me mad. I started planning. They had a weakness, an addiction that had taken hold of them. I was going to use that against them. They thought they were untouchable. But they had no idea what I was capable of. I called them, said I wanted to talk. They jumped at the chance, probably thinking they could smooth things over, maybe even manipulate me into forgiving them. But I had other plans. I wasn't going to let them get away with this. We met in the woods, far from prying eyes. The rain started just as they arrived, a downpour that soaked us to the bone. They looked nervous, and they should have been. I didn't waste time. I confronted them, laid it all out. The lies, the deceit, everything. Their faces drained of color as they realized I wasn't here to forgive or forget. I brought the substances they were hooked on, knowing they wouldn't resist. They took it, desperate to numb the reality of what was happening. I watched as they spiraled out of control, the drugs pulling them deeper into the abyss. And then, when they were too far gone to fight back, I made my move. It was quick, brutal. The storm covered the sounds, the rain washing away the evidence. By the time it was over, the only thing left was silence. I stood there, the rain pouring down, the bodies of the people I once loved lying lifeless at my feet. There was no going back, no undoing what I'd done. But in that moment, I didn't care. They had it coming, and I delivered the justice they deserved.